Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lollipop and today is a big day because we are going to be talking about the brand new 2022 Trek Marlin 5. I just recently made a video on the 2022 Trek Marlin 4 a couple days ago and the new 2022 Trek Marlin 8, so definitely subscribe to my channel and click on the bell notification so you can see all of my new uploads. But for this video, we're going to be focusing on all the updates and changes to the Trek Marlin 5 for 2022. The Marlin 5 is one of Trek's least expensive mountain bikes, but it is one step above the Marlin 4. It can be used as a beginner mountain bike or as a rugged commuter bike, as the frame does have mounts for a kickstand, fenders, and a rear rack for all of your commuting needs. For mountain biking, the frame on this bike is shared among all of the Marlin bikes, including the top-end Marlin 8, which is more expensive. This frame has had no updates from 2020, but I will show you the frame geometry on the screen right now. This bike is more cross-country oriented, meaning that it has geometry that allows for better pedaling efficiency and uphill climbing ability, over riding downhill and having some more maneuverability. However, the Marlin 5 specifically does have a new frame size available, which is extra small. This frame size actually uses 26-inch diameter wheels instead of the normal 29ers seen on most of the Marlins, just to make it a more comfortable bike for shorter riders. But for this video, I'm going to only be focusing on all the components on this bike that have been updated for 2022, so if I don't talk about a specific part in this video like the seat or the seat post, it means that that part has not changed since 2021. However, I will eventually make a video on the entire 2022 Trek Marlin lineup compared with one another to highlight all of those differences in depth. For this video, I'll be showing you all the differences from 2021 to 2022, covering all the components like the suspension forks, the drivetrains, and all of the drivetrain components like the derailleurs. I will also be completing this table at the end of the video to show you all of those changes in one place. Okay, so for the Marlin 5 updates, I'm going to start with the price. In late 2020, the Marlin 5 was priced at around $570, and then eventually that price was updated to $600 in 2021, but the prices increased further to $640 for late 2021 or 2022. The next update I'll talk about is a pretty cool one, and that is the color. In 2020, this bike came in 3 different colors, which were Factory Orange with the lithium gray accents, Trek Black with lithium gray accents, and Dark Aquatic with Trek Black and some Volt Green accents. Now all of these colors have been replaced with 4 new ones, the first of which being Azure with black accents, and then we also have Radioactive Red with white accents, Lithium Gray with silver accents, and a similar color to what is available on the Super Caliber, which is a Volt to Miami Green fade. Now for the actual components on this bike, I'll start with the suspension fork. In 2020 and early 2021, the Marlin 5 came with the SR Suntour XCE 28 coil spring fork with a quick release axle in the front, 28mm wide stanchions, and 100mm of travel in all sizes except for extra small. The new bike makes an upgrade to the SR Suntour XCM coil spring fork, which also has 100mm of travel in most sizes and a quick release axle, but this fork comes with wider 30mm diameter stanchions that make the fork stronger and stiffer to handle rougher terrain. This fork also comes with a hydraulic lockout that allows you to turn a knob on the suspension to make it fully rigid. This allows for better pedaling efficiency in flat areas and while going uphill to make you faster on the bike. Now besides that, the only updates to this bike are in the drivetrain. I'll quickly go over the overall drivetrain right now before covering all of the new parts on it. So the previous Marlin 5 used a Shimano Tourney and Shimano Altus 3x7 drivetrain, meaning that there were 3 gears or chainrings in the front crankset and 7 gears or cogs in the rear cassette. This meant that you had a total of 21 different speeds. The new bike makes a nice upgrade to a 2x8 drivetrain, which is fully Shimano Altus, which is one level above the Shimano Tourney. This new drivetrain gives you 16 speeds to choose from, which is plenty for mountain biking, and it removes one of the front chain rings to make things simpler and reduce chain movement and issues. For the specific components in the drivetrain, I'll start with the shifters. So both bikes actually use the same type of shifters, which are the Shimano Altus M315 rapid fire shifters that allow you to shift up to 3 gears at once when going to an easier gear for pedaling. The only difference between these two shifters are the amount of speeds they are built for, so they are essentially the same. Next, I'm going to talk about both the front and rear derailleurs. The old Marlin 5 used Shimano Tourney rear and front derailleurs, which are the most entry-level derailleurs available. The 2022 Marlin 5 upgrades to Shimano Altus derailleurs in the front and the rear, which do noticeably shift better as they are smoother in feel and a bit quicker. Then we have the cassette, which is the exact same model Shimano HG200 cassette for both years, but the outgoing Marlin 5 uses 7 speeds, while the new Marlin uses 8 speeds. The amount of teeth on the largest and smallest cogs is still the same at 12 teeth on the smallest and 32 on the largest. I'll explain what this means on the trail when I discuss the cranksets next. So for the crankset, this was changed from the 3 chainring Shimano Tourney to the 2 chainring Shimano Altus. The old crankset used a 24 to 34 to 42 tooth crankset, while the new one is 22 to 36 teeth. Paired with the rear cassettes, this means that the new Marlin 5 has a better gear for climbing uphill, and you will have an easier time doing that, but it will not have as hard of a gear for pedaling fast in flatter terrain. But for the trail, the new bike's gear range is still better, as you typically do not need that highest speed. And lastly, we can talk about the official weights of both of these bikes. In 2021, the Marlin 5 was weighed at 31.84 pounds or 14.44 kilograms in a size medium, and the new bike does not currently have an official weight, though it should be lighter due to the new drivetrain, and it should be similar in weight to the 2021 Marlin 6, however, so I'll throw up that weight on the screen right now for reference, but I will add an update in the comments section of this video down below if the official weight of this bike is released. But those are all the updates and upgrades for the 2022 Trek Marlin 5. Here's a completed table with all of the differences, and you may be able to notice that this new Marlin 5 is pretty similar to the 2021 Marlin 6. It has basically the exact same suspension fork and the same drivetrain now, which also does make sense considering the old Marlin 6 was priced at around $650 when it came out. Once again, I'll compare all the Marlin bikes with one another soon to show you the full 2022 lineup, but this video was focused on the new Marlin 5. I'll add updates in the comments section below once again if the price or any of these components change in the future, but for now, thank you all so much for watching, and remember to keep biking.